Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Campus Life series. I'm your host, Gordo Lamwa. Today, we are happy to have with us a lady of many talents. She's a graduate of National Technical University of Ukraine, also known as KPI, as a telecommunications engineer. She is a world-renowned fashion designer in Ukraine, a multiple award winner. She was the Fashion Designer of the Year 2016 in the Splash Awards and the National Union of Ghanaian Students Awards. She was also the Miss International KPI in the year 2015-2016 and many more awards and nominations. It is an honor to introduce to you Miss RITA BENYIWA ANUANSAH. Welcome to the show, Miss RITA.
Thank you very much.
So, there are lots of things that we missed in our introduction. Could you tell us about yourself? Where is RITA from? Where was she born?
Okay. My name is RITA BENYIWA, as you said earlier on. I'm from the eastern region of Ghana, and from Fanti and Ikiapim. And I stayed in Abekalapas in the Greater Accra region. That's where I attended primary school, and I later transferred to the eastern region for my junior high school, and later went to Infantiman Girls Secondary School for my senior high education. I'm the last born of my parents. Out of 4, I'm the last. And yeah, we have one guy and 2 other ladies. And yeah, that's basically it. What
Out of 4, there's only one guy.
Only one guy, yes.
Wow, he must be very privileged to have such strong women in the family.
Yeah.
Anyways, so your education, you mentioned that you attended your primary, your junior high school, senior high school, or in Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes? Mm-hmm. So why did you decide to come to Ukraine for your tertiary? I mean, there are so many universities in Ghana that you could have chosen, but you decided to come to Ukraine. Why Ukraine?
This is one of the most difficult questions I usually answer. But that was before. Mm-hmm. But now I've come to understand the reason why I chose Ukraine. At the beginning, I didn't really get it. Mm. But I would say it's Ukraine that has developed me. I saw the opportunity and I just took it. I had a chance to come and study abroad and I just took it. But as I came here and as I lived, I've come to realize the main reason why I'm here. And it's just by the grace of God.
Wow. Yeah. You are a telecommunications engineer right now. Yeah. Why telecommunications engineering? Why did you choose that? There are thousands of programs that you could have chosen from. Why that? Okay,
there were lots of professions I wanted to do as a kid. Mm-hmm. And telecommunications or an engineer, not specifically telecommunications, but being an engineer was part of it. I'd always wanted to be a journalist, an engineer. I had a whole lot of profession, and you could relate to that. Yeah. As kids, we always have a whole lot of profession that we could choose from. Yeah, so
So how has the program been? I mean, choosing telecommunications engineering in the first place is one big, load on its own. Yeah. So how has the program been? You being a lady, choosing that program, and then how is it like?
It hasn't been easy, to be frank.
I can imagine.
It hasn't been easy, especially getting to study in Ukrainian language.
Wow. I was going to ask you about that.
It's been very difficult. We had to learn the language. I didn't know anything about Ukraine, actually. Mm-hmm. I didn't know the language. I knew basically nothing. But we got here, we started with the language study for less than a year. That was like 10 months or so. Yeah, that's if I'm right. And we were admitted to the first year. Mm-hmm. We started with that too, and it was very, very difficult. Like, I could sit in the class Like,
and not understand anything.
I never understood anything. We didn't even realize. The funny thing is, sometimes it's even break time, and we don't understand anything, so we don't even get to know that it's break. We just be sitting there, we just see them going out, and we just follow. So it was basically following what they did. Like the other students, the Ukrainians, we were just following their steps and everything.
So how did you overcome the language difficulty?
Practice.
You just practice.
Yeah, even when you are confidently wrong, you have to speak it.
You have to speak it.
With confidence.
Wow.
With confidence, you have to speak. You have to practice, read, watch movies. That I hardly did. But once in a while, we went to the cinema, watched movies in Ukrainian language and all that. And it helped as well.
I think you need to permit me to borrow your zeal to learn the language as well.
I think you should.
Anyway, so how has life as a student in Ukraine been like? I mean, it's a new environment compared to Africa.
Exactly.
Life is a lot more different.
Yeah.
How is it like? How has your life been in Ukraine?
Hectic at the beginning. Getting to adapt to the weather, the food, everything, the environment, the people. It's been very difficult, especially when you go to the street. Even how to express yourself.
Yeah.
I think you can relate to that. It's very difficult, especially when you don't know the language or anything at all. You just don't know how to express yourself when people offend you, or when you have to explain yourself to a Ukrainian or something. It's very difficult. It was very difficult at the beginning, but as time went on,
and now you are the boss of it.
I can't say, but at least I'm trying.
I can see. Yeah. Wow, that is some life you have lived.
Exactly.
Wow. Anyways, so during the introduction, I mean, we've come to realize that you are a renowned fashion designer in Ukraine. Actually, me, for instance, when I got here, you were one of the few people I got to know of as an African from my country who is actually making it. I mean, you are also known as RITA exclusive.
Yeah.
What's the history behind the exclusiveness of yourself?
Well, RITA exclusive is just my brand name for my fashion. Yeah. I design clothes for ladies, children, men, like basically everyone. And I would say RITA exclusive. Let me tell you how it came about.
Yes. Okay. Please do.
Okay, as a child, I'd not only into fashion, beauty, everything that makes someone looks good. Okay, I just loved it. Since I was a child, I'd always wanted to be as I said earlier on, and I had a lot of professions that hairdressing was part.
Wow.
Being a designer was part.
I see.
And everything.
Wow.
So I had this doll that I used to decorate and everything, like dresses. Anytime, I'm always in the room. Either I'm playing with my friends or I'm in the room playing with my dolls, designing for them and everything. And let me say, I can proudly say it came up during my childhood.
So the fashion, you designing clothing and other things, it started from your infancy?
Yes, I would say that.
Wow.
It started from that.
Wow, that's some talent you have there.
Yeah.
I see. So, when you got to Ukraine, as you said, it was very difficult trying to mix up your studies with the language itself. How did you, bring everything together to start making your designs?
Well, I would say it's just by the grace of God, because I didn't learn designing. I didn't learn how to cut, how to pin, how to sew. Well, my auntie is a designer way back home, but then I never took time to go and sit by her. As a youth, we all had our things to do. I never sat down with her, maybe do this, do that. No. I would say it's a talent, a God-given talent. Because sometimes the things I do, I'm even amazed at myself.
Wow.
It's
so
just amazing.
From measurements to cutting, to the sewing, to everything else. You did all that by yourself.
I didn't learn it from anyone. I just worked on it, and with constant practice. It was very difficult at the beginning, trust me. How to cut. I had to cut several times before I got it right. But as time went on, things started improving, and I'm still learning though. Did
you get any support?
Yeah, exactly. I would say Dr. Kecha actually challenged me. He encouraged me to work on my talent. I remember he asked me to design. No, I first designed my t-shirt. I had this kente t-shirt. A black t-shirt designed with kente, and I made it with my hand, okay? So he saw it and he was like, this is good. So he ordered for one. I just did it for him, just for doing sake. I just wanted to try. He ordered for it and I did it for him with this Edinkra something. Is it Jinyame? Yeah, we have these symbols in Ghana. It's one of them is Jinyame, except God. So that was the design, how the design was made. So I sent it to him. We met at a place together with his friends from the USA and Pastor Samson as well. So I met him on delivery. We met together at a restaurant, and he was trying to explain the designs to them, to his friends from the US, since they didn't know anything about it. They wanted to know more about African. So as he was talking, he said RITA's exclusives. So that was how the name came about.
How the name came about.
Yes.
Oh wow.
That was how the name came about. And I loved it actually, and I just picked it and we started working on it. So I made one for him and I made another for his wife too. And they loved it.
Did you have
they were my first client.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
They were my first client. Okay. Aside myself. They were my first client.
Did you have any form of inspiration?
Exactly.
Someone you were looking up to or something?
Yeah. My late mom, okay, she was, she wanted to be a fashion designer, but due to some circumstances, she couldn't. So after reading her biography, I was like, okay, she wanted to do it. So why don't I take it upon myself to do it? So it's one of the basic inspirations that I have.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing it in memory of...
In memory of her, and also developing my talent as well.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the designs that I've seen so far, most of them are made from African prints. Yeah. Do you use other materials?
Exactly. I do use other materials.
Wow.
I use other materials. And I am using the African fabrics basically to promote African culture in Ukraine. People, not everyone in Ukraine, especially the Ukrainians, know a lot about Africa, our culture, our way of life and everything. So through this, I'm able to portray African culture. How people, some of them believe we don't, for some weird reasons, we don't wear dresses and everything. But in a way of promoting the African culture, I use the African fabrics, and they love it. They really do.
Yeah. Well, talking about materials, there was this design that you made from the Ghana Must Go material. I mean, it is amazing. What inspired you to use the Ghana Must Go? I mean, because in Ghana we use it to carry loads, and what inspired you to use it for clothing?
Yeah, I remember you saying Miss International KPI. Yes, I was the winner actually. So that was amongst the foreigners. So after when I won, I had to represent Africa or the foreigners at let me say in my school there's this yearly annual beauty pageant they have among the faculties. So this year, it was last year actually, because I won Miss International KPI, I had to represent the foreigners there. So I was part of the contestant. And there was this category that we had to do something unreal. We had to dress in a way that is unusual, in a way that you wouldn't see people on the streets wearing. And I had to think for almost a week and even more. And I was like, okay, we use a bag. We use this sack bag we use it at the market and everything. Yeah. Other people had their items, like the stuff they used in designing their dresses. So I picked the sack bag, and since I'm a designer, I just made a dress out of it. And it came out perfect. I even won an award.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very beautiful design. I mean, I was surprised myself when I saw it. I was like, wow. I mean, to sit and think about using a sack bag material to make a clothing. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing. So, there are so many questions that we want to ask you. So many questions. But before we dive into all those questions, we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we'll continue with it.